Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You're at the spot, the place, where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? It's time to put them on, because the conversation starts now. Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. You are back at your favorite spot. Yes, my house. The place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. And today we are going to Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. We're going to visit with Gwen Maynard. Gwen has a special gift. She has an ability, not an inability, to work with empathic individuals, highly sensitive. Sometimes people consider them as introverted or at a loss or shy, but they're picking up everybody's energy. And that's a full container. That's a lot to carry around. See, I'm empathic, but I'm not an empath because I know how to turn it off and give you back your stuff. But there's wonderful people that absorb your energy when you walk into the room. There are people that have challenges really separating their stuff from your stuff. They are highly sensitive, they're highly emotional, and people, they give them a hard time. But again, that is a gift because there's an additional insight to that. So Gwen works with that population, and she's going to talk to us about that and a whole lot more. Let's welcome her to the show. How are you, Gwen?
Good. How are you?
I can't complain about nothing. I'm seeing those angel wings floating in the background
Yes.
there. That's beautiful. That is
Thank
beautiful.
you.
So tell us a little bit about you and how you show up in the world.
Oh gosh, so I am the founder of Sacred Wings Healing, and I am a Reiki Master Teacher and Shamanic Practitioner. My healing journey, I've actually been on my healing journey probably all my life, but really my awakening happened during working for corporate. And that's really when I found out that I was an empath and really started digging deep into what an empath is, what energy is, and my journey just took off from there.
Okay, so you said you figured it out in corporate. What happened? Girl, you walked in one day and just everybody's emotions went and you just started bouncing
Oh
off the
no.
wall and crying. What happened?
Oh no, it was actually years. I'm going to say not just corporate. I've worked in retail, worked
Mhm.
as a nurse. So all the years of working in service, I would say, and just being able to feel other people's energy would um, would affect me. And so I would think that
Okay,
that was where
so
oh,
let's dissect this a little bit. When you say
okay.
affect you how?
I could feel it. Like I would start crying, or if somebody was angry, I could feel their anger, I could feel their pain, and I didn't know how to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm. I've known people that can actually feel, because I'm like that with my nose. I'm
Hmm.
very sensitive. I can smell sickness uh,
Yes,
before it comes. I can smell trouble.
yes.
I can
Like,
smell pain, but I can also smell love. I can
hmm.
smell. I'm like a kid or a dog. I mean, I can tell by just again who the person is or getting a whiff of them or close to them what that energy is, so I know what it
Right,
is for an empath as well. But it's hard because do you also absorb their good?
right. You do absorb their good, but so trying to discern what's your feelings and not your feelings can have that effect on you. You can go to bed at night and your brain just keeps going and you're thinking about conversations and what you did and what you didn't do throughout the day and just trying to figure out, was this me? Did I do something wrong? And just trying to figure out what energy is yours.
Right.
And so, yeah, so during it got to a point where actually it caused me to have anxiety.
Mm.
And I didn't necessarily like the medication that I was put on. And so I was
So wait, wait,
searching.
wait, 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 down
Uh-huh.
back, down back. They gave you some medication for it because you.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't like how that made me feel. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was searching for a more holistic way to help calm my nerves. You know, because at the time I didn't realize I was an empath. And this was during while I was in the corporate world.
Mhm.
So searching on how to figure out what was going on with my anxiety, calm my nerves, calm my nervous system. I actually had a friend introduce me to crystals. He handed me a crystal and he was like, just see. He says, for some people, they can feel these and it helps clear
Mhm.
their energy. He goes, just put it in your pocket and see how you do.
Mhm.
And from there, I just started researching everything and got introduced to all kinds of ways to help calm the energy, including Reiki, and really was healing myself for several years during this time. And that's when my awakening was happening.
I was looking around for my crystals because I always have some crystals and some energy movement here. But I want to ask you a couple quick questions. Now,
Yes.
is being an empath fall under the category of being neurodivergent?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Because neurodivergent individuals, ADHD, dyslexia, uh, autism, dementia, all of these are mental, neurological adjustments.
Right.
Frequencies is what I say. I don't call them disabilities. I think that they're just trapped in a place that they can't communicate with us, nor can we communicate with them. So I understand that because, again, like you said, it took you to a place of an anxiety where they had to give you
Hmm.
medication. And I understand that it affected you at work, but did this also spill over into your personal relationships with your spouse, your
Oh yeah.
kids, your grandmother, your cat?
Yeah, because I was bringing it home.
Mm,
I was bringing it home. I would be, having all this energy on because you collect it. You collect it throughout, whether it be hours or days, and it would make me angry. I would fight with my spouse, fight with my kids. I'd be just angry at the world, and not know what was wrong with me.
did it
So,
make it, probably affected you internally and made it more of a disease, make you
yeah,
nauseous? It's like on the computer. People don't believe me when I tell them. Sometimes I can be on the computer and I literally get nauseous.
yep,
So when you get overwhelmed by something,
including feelings,
including feelings, but
and
people don't,
energy. Yep.
yeah, and they don't gravitate to that. They don't understand. Do you know the definition of what an empath is, and just really what people need to look for if they feel that they are experiencing some of these emotions?
Really, an empath is a highly sensitive
Mm-hmm.
person who can really feel energies or energetic bodies, whether that of other persons, things. You can feel it through TV, you can feel it through computers, your phone. So,
And it spills over into every aspect of your
of
life.
your
And then
life.
and then people are wondering, why is she so emotional? When you
Yes.
say sensitive, um, that used to be called a crybaby.
Yep. Yes.
You break out and you cry and you don't understand why you're crying. And then they put you on this medication, which takes you to another zone of genius. It
Hmm.
numbs you, you know, and then when you come off of it, like anything that medicates you, you're back at square one. You're
Yep.
back at this emotional, pitfall, and you spiral out of control. And that can really lead to depression. It could even, I've heard people even think about suicidal ideology
Yes.
when they get, because they're so heavy in it and they don't understand it.
Right.
Take me to a person that you've worked with before that just realized that there was something wrong and you helped them uh, uncover the fact that they were empathic. What kind of steps? What did you do? Did you journal? Did you? Because I know Reiki is energy movement, but you can't
Right.
just lay on somebody's table and get a Reiki session and say, "Oh my God, I got a good massage. and I'm an empath. What
Right.
what
Right.
steps did you go through?
I think, well, because of my energy and who I work with, I tend to draw those people in. And so most of the time, those who I draw in um, have that ability, that sensitivity, and it could be from hairdressers to nurses to physical therapists. So a lot of them who work around a lot of other people, so they get those energies throughout the day, right? And they'll come in and they'll be like, I'm so drained, and so they initially will schedule the Reiki session with me, but then I have a questionnaire that I go through and I ask them certain questions about basically their livelihood and what brought them to me. And with the Reiki and my abilities and my history, I'm able to pick up on that as well. So I even get some of my own intuition that I use when I'm with a person, and I'm able to kind of go through and be able to pick up, okay, this person needs some more grounding, or they need to make sure that they're clearing their energy after they've had a day at work, or this person is empathic. You can pick up on those when you're highly sensitive and you've been working with them over the years.
Yeah, and especially like being a nurse because you get all, and thank you for that. Nurses and teachers are my favorite people on the planet.
Hmm.
If they don't get the accolades that they deserve. Okay, so
Yeah,
now
so
you're working with this person that is defined as highly sensitive, and where do you begin? Okay, so you've already discovered that this is it, or I feel that this is something that's going on with me, and I can't explain it any other way. So
hmm
you're working with them, and you are um, kind of giving them a blueprint and a way to not get over it. I don't know. I don't think you ever
no,
get over something like that. I think you get with it. I think that you get through it. I think that you learn how to adjust and manage it.
yes.
And so, what are some of the things that they do? I mean, outside of working with you, do they journal? Do they meditate?
Yes.
Do they
So
sit in
if
silence?
if they're open, to exploring, and I always tell people, find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
If the meditation works for you, great. Because a lot of people, they will draw in, I tell them different things like smoke cleanse, using the crystal to cleanse your energy, salt baths, different things to help cleanse, bring in golden light, from above. Bring that in around you and ask it to clear you and cleanse you. So different things work for different people. Sometimes, especially if you work in a heavy place, like with the nurses and the teachers and all of them, you may have to do more than one. Sometimes you'll have to do a smoke cleanse and a meditate,
Right.
just to help get rid of all of that and bring yourself back to you.
Now, you said you also do shamanic work. How did you
Yes.
find the Native American wisdom and healing and modalities? How did that take you to where you are
Um,
to incorporate that?
so I've always been drawn to it. And I happen to just really research. I started researching what it meant, what it meant to do shamanic work, if that was something that I could do, and just looked into different practitioners, here in Colorado and throughout the world to see if that was something that I could do. And I actually went with a Peruvian-based
Oh boy.
person,
I was
and oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to
Oh,
bring that up because I've you
yeah,
know I've got some friends that have been to
yes,
Hawaii and Peru and Costa Rica, but
yeah,
they take it to the zenith point and they've experienced the ayahuasca.
yeah, yes. I have not done that.
Girl,
The
I'm not
one that
I'm not
I'm not,
ready for it. I said I'm not
yeah,
mature enough to do past lives
right,
and go through that. I mean, she told me how they took the plant medicine, but they were with the shaman and they were with
yes,
people that have done this and indigenous people that have done the plant medicine for years.
Yeah.
But now what is becoming more and more common is here in California is that they're microdosing with these psychedelics. And
Yeah.
brains, I'm gonna tell you, I, the world is crazy enough. I don't need to be out of my head.
Yeah.
I need to be
Yes.
grounded. And if you
Hmm.
are considering that, you need to do your research
Yeah.
because it's not just about going on a psychedelic trip.
Right.
This will change your life's trajectory forever.
Yes. Yep, it will. And I actually go through what's called journeying through the shamanic practice through drumming, so through sound.
Mm,
I don't use the microdosing or anything like that. So I get to stay grounded. So
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
have
mean,
that, I have
I've got friends
control.
that have done. Yeah, I've got friends that's done it 4 or 5 times, and they say that they purge, and you cry and you shake and you tremble and you. But then, you got some celebrities. I'm not gonna name their name. One of them said they did it 14 times,
Mm,
and I'm saying, what could have went on in your life that you had to do this 14 times? But it's different life experiences
it
every
is.
single time,
It is.
and I'm just trying to get through this one in tax season.
Yeah. So for me, it was an experience again for my own healing.
Hmm.
I've had so much in my life that I've had to go through and heal over, but that's helped me to be where I'm at. So
Do you think that something that triggers your empathic nature is what you've been
absolutely,
through, your epigenetics, your past lives, and
past lives
generational trauma?
and even as a young, a young girl growing up, I had to be aware of, what was going on around me to stay safe.
Exactly. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So now, as you've done this work, what has been the reward? What is the ROI? Because everybody's got an ROI, and it's not just about money. What
Right.
is it that it does for you? Because again, you're working with individuals, you've
Hmm.
identified what an empath is, you've identified and recognized that that is a part of your characteristics and your personality trait. You know, what is the benefit of doing this? Because again, you're taking on a lot of people's stuff too.
Yes. Yep. For me, it to really figure out me. It got me back to my inner self, my authenticity. For years I was told, you know, you need to harden that shell. You need to get tough skin. You have to be harsh, to get where you need to be. But that's not me. My strength is actually my softness. My softness actually helps people relax. It helps get them into a relaxing state and helps them actually um, I don't want to say trust me, but get them to that place where they can heal and can get to that point of getting back to themselves, to their inner empowerment.
Well, they
So,
have to identify and recognize and own their own stuff.
yep,
Because what happens, I see people off board. They become the victim.
yes.
They're confused, they're convoluted, they're mixed up. They
Mm-hmm.
don't know, again, their stuff from somebody else's stuff, and then you got other contributing factors, the outside noise of the community. Maybe you have a spouse or a parent that is disruptive in your life, that triggers
Right.
and so you don't know what's going on. You don't know if you're having a nervous breakdown. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you need to be medicated. Then when you're medicated, you're confused. So there's a lot of moving parts in that. But with all of that, no matter what, you have to learn to establish some boundaries.
Yes.
Tell us about your boundary setting.
Oh, yes. So the boundaries was huge. Used to be the biggest people pleaser, thinking I had to bend over backwards for everybody. But again, growing up, that was my safety rails. So being soft and being that people pleaser. So realigning myself and learning the boundaries of my own energy, my heart, my mind, and putting those boundaries up so that I can get my confidence back and really return back to me again, to my authenticity, to who I am,
Right,
not who what other people think I should be.
right. And it's hard to figure out who you are when you've been masking all this time.
Yes, it took me a long time. It really did. It probably took me, I want to say, at least 4 years to even get to the point where I actually quit my job and was doing what I felt my path was to make me happy.
Right, right. And those people that are seeking and looking for this type of assistance, um, they're drawn to you.
Yes.
They're drawn to you. And that's like me. I will pick up the phone and I'll vet someone to be on the show and they, oh my God, I was looking for someone. I was looking for this. You came at the right time. So if you set the intention and follow through and are clear and stay focused, the answers will
Hmm.
appear. I mean, they
Yes.
have nowhere to go because
And it
that's
is
just you.
work. It
Oh
is
yeah.
work. Yeah.
And it's pain, but I also want to talk about the joy. I
Yes.
also want to talk about the joy. I mean, you will walk into a room, and I know I did this one time. I walked in, and this young woman had had 9 miscarriages, 9, and this was pregnancy number 10. And I told her, I said, you got this. You got this. And what you have to do is, stay focused and believe. And, you got to be like Dorothy. You got to click your heels 3 times and, be happy. And, don't make sex seem like a chore.
Yeah.
Don't make it seem like love. And a year and a half later, I saw her and she had a cute little baby, just as healthy and could be. So you can rewrite the script.
Yes.
You can rewrite the narrative, and it may not be the ending that you want, because when we came to this planet we had a soul contract. There's something that each one of us is designed to do.
Yep.
You cannot dodge the bullet. You cannot dodge the bullet, but what you can do is structure your life and your mindset and your brain to navigate through it, to not be so overwhelmed. It's about how you respond.
Hmm.
That's the key. It's not that it's going to go away, but it's how you respond to that person taking the parking space. Really? You saw me sitting here waiting and you cut me off and it's raining here at Costco. But you know what? I just take a deep breath and say, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then I go and find another parking space. And on the way out, somebody done ran a buggy into your car. So there's cause and effect.
Yes.
There is an action, there's a reaction for every action. And it's just about how we process it and how we respond. A lot of men don't do this work. They're doing a lot better now. I hear a lot more men after COVID
Hmm.
are going to therapy. Do you have male clients?
I do actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when they open up, it's a whole different thing. I've got a friend
It
right now
really
that's going
is.
through some stuff. And when I call him, he's crying. And I said, it's okay to cry. Oh, I'm
Hmm.
just sitting here. I said, you're not weak and shallow because you cry. That's a release of an expression. Do you find that it's different working with the men than women? A lot different? Or the emotion level is about the same?
No, it's absolutely different. They got to come in and they they know that they're seeking something, but they don't know what right away. Where most of the women, they know right off the bat what they're looking for, whether that be to ground, to get rid of energy. They feel heaviness, all of that stuff. Where the men, they know that they're there for something, and usually by the time that they're gone through a few sessions with me, yeah, I've had some that have moved forward and start taking classes, and some that are teaching now. So it's, yeah.
Well, that's powerful work. That's
Hmm.
saying that, you've got uh, you're really connected with source and you're a trusted source and that people can rely on you, and they want to work with you. And that speaks volumes.
Yeah,
And again, the
that's
word
been one of my
trust.
greatest gifts, is being connected to source.
Mhm. And you use the word trust. You don't give out trust like you give out Oreos, right?
No, no.
You've got to build that.
Yeah,
And then when someone shatters that trust or betrays that trust, you have to start all over again.
you
But
do.
that is not to say that you can't forgive them, but you have to be aware and you have to, excuse me, you have to be in touch with your own consciousness. Gwen is just the facilitator. She's
Hmm.
just the navigator. Okay. She's the Uber driver and you're the passenger.
Yep.
And so what you need to do is to be the observer of your life. There's a lot of wonderful meditations online, great teachers that I listen to and I fall asleep to, but I actually feel it saturating and penetrating my mind because it is going beyond the frontal lobe into the subconscious, the neuro linguistic programming, the conversation that I'm having with myself. One of the teachers said, you're sitting up there thinking about what happened 6 months ago that you had a confrontation with someone, and there you are 6 months later, they're not even in your space, and you're still arguing with them. You're arguing with them in your mind. So it's how you talk to yourself,
Hmm.
what you're talking about, and recognizing, being heart centered, holding it, saying, you know what? I had another guest that taught me the most beautiful thing. She says, when those emotions come up, embrace yourself. Hold your fail gently, hold your heart gently. Acknowledge that this situation has occurred, but don't stay in that space. Would you agree, Gwen?
Absolutely. And know that, you know, you don't have to harden to heal. It's okay to be soft,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and
But
it's okay to
also,
be in that energy.
my favorite thing is the word no. That's a
Uh-huh,
complete sentence.
absolutely.
No. You don't have to be rude, but no, this doesn't work for me. No,
Hmm.
this isn't pleasant for me. I'm not comfortable with this. Let me sit with this. This is not a direction that I'm moving in. You can say those things. And if the other person is not receptive to you,
Hmm.
then that's not your person. That's not your space. That's
And
not where you need to be.
and recognizing that, sometimes the awareness of recognizing that in your body.
Mm, exactly. Because it can turn into something, open sore that never heals.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be as a devastating as a debilitating disease, but then you're working with people also in the hospital, and in the hospital they're downtrodden. It's not
Hmm.
the most pleasant place to be, but you're still working with them and encouraging them and motivating them and supporting them and doing all of that, wanting them to heal, sending out those vibrations of healing. So again, I thank you for your work as a nurse. So let's ask some fun questions. How about that? I like to do that. You're there in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. If I came to visit you outside of taking me to see the football team, what would we do?
Oh gosh. Oh, I would probably take you to Red Rocks.
Really?
Yes.
Are we hiking?
Not necessarily, but
Okay.
you can.
Okay. Is Red
Yes.
Rocks kind of like Sedona? Is there a lot of
It's an amphitheater. They actually hold concerts there, but it's outside. It's
okay.
gorgeous.
And so we would go. And what kind of music would we listen to there?
Mm. They actually hold everybody. So
Really? Okay. All right. So you said drumming. I belong to
yes.
a women's drum circle. And what happened with me was I had a deep meditation and God calls me baby. He says, baby, I have a gift for you. And I said, you do, Father? He says, but I can't give it to you until you change your circle of influence and your frequency. And I said, what? I got to do all that? Yeah. So instead of going and doing something that was very high pitched, I said, I'm going to do something that's more rooted in who
Yeah.
I am because my family is Native American and African American. And I went to a women's drum circle. And Gwen, I was forever changed.
Yes, it
Those
does change
women
you.
did Reiki and they played gongs,
Mm.
they played chimes, and they were from 2 years old to 82 years old. What does drumming do for you?
Oh, it just, it brings me back to earth. It brings me into that space of, it's almost like a euphoria of just peace, calmness, and I connect to, when I go into that space, it's like connecting with my best friend.
Yeah, drumming is very powerful. I know that a friend of mine is a drummer and he goes into Children's Hospital and he plays with the children there, but also he goes into the schools and helps the children with mathematics. So drumming is very powerful, and it's the beating of the heart.
It's beating of
It
the heart.
it
It's
is the
medicine.
engine. It is the engine. You know, when you listen to music, that's the bass. That's
hmm
the drum. It's not the bass guitar. What drives it is the drum. So it's very, very important. If you were a flower in the garden, what flower would you be and why?
Sunflower.
Oh, you look like a sunflower.
Sunflower, because the sunflower always opens up to the sun, always opens up to that light and brings the light in.
And it grows so tall and so free and just wild. So that's beautiful.
Yes.
So it's beautiful. If you were an appliance in the kitchen, what appliance would you be?
Oh gosh, an appliance.
Yeah.
Um, Probably the oven,
Why would you be the oven?
because the oven is warm,
Mm.
warm and cozy. You can put things in there to be safe and secure.
Hmm.
So
I'd be the garbage disposal.
you getting rid of everything.
Get rid of the things that no longer serve you and
There you
wash
go.
them right on down the drain. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would be the garbage disposal. That's my friend. If you could have a conversation with a 25-year-old Gwen Maynard, what would you say to
Oh,
her?
oh, I would tell her, uh, everything's going to be okay. You're going to do just fine. Your children are going to be fine. Everything's going to work out. You don't have to worry about the world. Everything that you're feeling is true. Everything that you felt before is true. You're not crazy.
Right.
And follow your dreams.
What do you have left to tick off on your life list? Just something whimsical. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to go swim with the dolphins?
Mm.
Do you want to skydive? What do you want to do?
I actually want to go to Alaska.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you will love it because I've been there
Yep.
twice. You will love it. It's a beautiful place. It is really a beautiful place, and I didn't realize how many Native Americans were there, as well as Russian influence, and you don't kind of put those two together, and it's good. And the salmon is to die for.
Mm.
You'll love it. So I'm waiting to hear about
Yes.
your trip. So if there is someone out there that is seeking, that is unsure, unclear, why would they be encouraged to work with you?
Why? Oh, if they're seeking and they're unclear, I can do many things. I would first have a call to action. I would, or not a call to action, a discovery call. I would have them have a discovery call with me to see if I'm even the right person or have the right type of healing for them. Or they can even go to my website and look at all the different services that I provide to see if any of those speak to them. Um, I hold a grounded, compassionate way of listening. I'm very soft hearted, soft centered, and I can hold that space for them that's safe.
And that's important. And brains, when I was talking to Gwen the first time, looked in the background and there she was. She's a teacher. She also teaches people how to tap into this energy and to work with others. And so again, she's flowing like a river. And I encourage you to reach out before you do something different, before you reach for the vodka and the little blue pill or the blunt. Go in and say, hey, you know what? Let me just be me. Let me just be vulnerable. Let me just open my heart up and have a conversation and see where it goes from there. If it's something more intrinsic and more in detail, Gwen is going to refer you to where you need to go. Maybe you might need to see a therapist. Maybe you might need medication. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no
Right.
shaming with that. But the biggest part of it is identifying and recognizing and trying to get well. Because mental health, I mean, especially with young people, I know young people have a therapist now, like we have dentists. They're reaching out, and then the social media, and they're worried about AI, and they're worried about their job, and yada, yada, yada. Just take it moment by moment, moment by moment. That's all that you can do.
Mhm.
I want my brains to have that conversation with you. I want them to reach out and touch you and touch themselves and open their hearts. What's the best way to get in contact with you?
So they can contact me through email at reiki@sacredwingshealing.com or a discovery call by booking it on my website at www.sacredwingshealing.com.
And brains, also follow her on social media. That's a great way to see what a person is about. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look at your page, I'm going to look at who you associate with. People always, the first thing they want you to do is join their group. I don't know the people that you hang around with. I'm not going to just join your group. I want to see what you're talking about, what you're posting is in alignment. I'm not making a judgment one way or another, but you just may not be my person. And so if someone follows me, they're going to follow Gwen. And, it's guilt by association. Go in, see what they're about, you know, see if you resonate with them. And I'm sure that you will. You are absolutely wonderful. And I'm so glad that you decided to be here with me and my brains on the edge. Brains, I need you to go in and love, like, share, and subscribe. Love, like, share, and subscribe, not only to me, but also to Gwen. Check us out. Make sure that it's in alignment with your values, bringing you your highest and greatest good. We may be your person, we may not be your person. I don't know why we wouldn't be your person, but again, we want to be there for you. We love you, we respect you, and we honor you. Thank you, Gwen.
Thank you.
Bye, brains. Have a good day.